1583, Matteo Ricci arrived in ancient China to spread the gospel. When Ricci arrived in Beijing, he used a spatial memory device to compose the outline for a Chinese character dictionary. It became Ricci's most effective resource for arousing the curiosity of Chinese wherever he went. When Ricci was in Schall, he translated the 4 books of Confucius into Latin. Because of this, Ricci was later named the Western Father of Chinese learning. It was a happy coincidence that brought Matteo Ricci and Xu Guangqi together. The most probable reason for Xu's interest in meeting Ricci was Ricci's famous map of the world. In 1601, the Chinese emperor summoned Matteo Ricci to the Forbidden City for an audience. He had unlocked the door to the imperial court. In 1604, Xu Guangqi assisted Ricci in publishing several books on religious doctrine. Before Ricci died, he and Xu Guangqi had translated 6 volumes of Euclid's Elements and also the Principles of Measurement. In the final years of the Ming Dynasty, the Jesuits introduced Western science, technology, and culture. They lit a bright new path for a China that had been a quiet farming society for thousands of years. In 1619, the vessel Nossa Senhora de Jesus that carried Adam Schall to China arrived at the Chinese port of Macau. During the Ming Dynasty, it was the only window through which the West could view China. It was also the principal base for the Jesuit China mission. Adam Schall paid a visit to Paul Xu Guangqi, and with his assistance presented to the imperial court a list of all the works on astronomy brought from Europe. In June 1630, Paul Xu Guangqi appealed to the Chongzhen Emperor, strongly recommending that Adam Schall, Johann Terens, and their Jesuit colleagues be appointed to edit the new Chongzhen calendar. In February 1631, Adam Schall presented the first 24 volumes. In May 1632, Schall delivered to the emperor the calendar's 3rd installment of 30 volumes. With a foundation in mathematics from Europe and actual military experience acquired in Macau, Adam Schall had become an expert in designing and constructing the most advanced and effective cannons in the world. In 1642, the Chongzhen Emperor commanded Adam Schall to design and build cannons. When Li Zicheng invaded Beijing, Adam Schall was the sole Westerner remaining in the embattled city. Schall held a large sword and stationed himself at the door of the Nantan Church. After Li Zicheng took control of the imperial palace, he treated Adam Schall and the Catholics of Beijing with respect. On July 25, 1644, Adam Schall renamed the Chongzhen calendar, christening it the New Western Calendar. This historic moment set the stage for a stunning and meaningful encounter between Eastern and Western cultures. These paintings were painted by an Italian Jesuit, Giuseppe Castiglione, known throughout China as Lang Shining, and became one of China's most highly esteemed imperial painters. In 1707, at age 19, Castiglione took his first vows as a Jesuit brother. At the age of 28, the young artist first entered the imposing red walls of China's imperial city. There he remained for 51 years. Castiglione's famous painting, 8 Horses, is housed today in Taipei's National Palace Museum. Auspicious Objects, a work on silk, bears the signature Lang Shining and is the earliest of Castiglione's Chinese-style paintings known to exist today. Castiglione hoped that by painting for the emperors, his creations might open doors and clear a path by which the Christian faith might spread throughout China. The Yongzheng emperor was delighted with the painting. Castiglione was encouraged to try little by little to integrate Western techniques into Chinese paintings. To Chinese painters, the technique of linear perspective was like magic, and Lang Shining was the magician. According to Castiglione's chronicle, during his 8 years under the Kangxi Emperor, he completed 10 paintings. During his 13 years under Yongzheng, he completed 100 paintings. And during his final 30 years under Qianlong, he completed 470 paintings. Castiglione, at age 59, was commissioned by the emperor to design the gardens and buildings of the Western Mansion section of the Yuanmingyuan, the Old Summer Palace. All featured fountains where water spouted, danced, and cascaded, and enhanced the beauty and cultural ambiance of the gardens as well. On the terrace of the Palace of the Calm Sea, Castiglione designed a water clock decorated with 12 Chinese zodiac statues. They could be Castiglione's most famous works.